Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced the introduction of an electronic foreign exchange matching system aimed at transforming the country's foreign exchange market. Now, this new system is set to be operational in the Nigerian foreign exchange market by the 1st of December 2024. The system is expected to reshape foreign exchange transactions in the interbank market by enhancing transparency and promoting a market-driven exchange rate accessible to the public. According to a circular by the Director of the Financial Markets Department at the CBN, Omolara Duke, it will require all authorized dealers to conduct FX transactions using the platform, ensuring that all transactions are immediately reflected within the market. In Nigeria's rapidly evolving business landscape, technology is transforming the way companies reach their audiences. Now, from data-driven insights to social media strategies, businesses are leveraging tech innovations to boost their marketing efforts. With mobile penetration and internet access on the rise, digital platforms are becoming essential tools for brands to engage with consumers and drive growth. And this shift is reshaping the marketing landscape, offering new opportunities for businesses to thrive in the competitive market. Alvena is global brand strategist and founder of Blastily, which joins me now to discuss this further. Alvena, good morning to you. It's great to have you on the Global Business Report.
Thank you. Good morning.
You're most welcome. Okay, so we hear the word brand strategist thrown around quite a bit. What really is brand strategy? How important is the strategy function for brands? And more importantly, is its importance underestimated?
Yes, I think it's very much underestimated because a brand strategist is someone who would find an opportunity and just show you where you're leaving money on the table. And a brand strategist is supposed to help you see the possibilities that you haven't even seen within your business, whether it's by the data you're ignoring or other markets that you could actually be penetrating into.
So would you say this should be the first basic step to starting a brand strategy?
No. The step would be for you to even just have an understanding about what the person is doing with their business, and then you would now think about what is happening on a global scale. When you have the information on what is happening on a global scale, then you can see how you can bring it down and localize it for that person.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because you have to have a better understanding to even begin, otherwise it's shooting darts in the air. Well, digital technology has certainly infiltrated the business space. In what ways would you say the rise of digital platforms have changed the ways that businesses are connecting with their audiences?
Yes, so digital platforms have made the playing ground leveled for small businesses. A small business could literally start today and earn today. That's just the power of social media. But I think businesses are really not taking advantage of all that they could actually be doing with the social media space. There is really more to do, especially with data.
Let's get some more insight into that. I find that a very interesting point, because a lot of businesses are using social media, but are there ways in which to do it strategically? Everyone could use social media. Everyone has access to a mobile device, but do you also need a strategy behind that to execute effectively?
Of course, you definitely do need a strategy, and that's why it's not just about opening an account and just posting that, I have this for sale. You have to communicate the problem you're trying to solve, and you have to also do your research to know the pain points of the customers you're trying to communicate with. Because, we just have 36 million Nigerians that are using social media today, and that's just 16% of our population. What that would tell you is that there is a lot of businesses that should be taking advantage of social media, but they actually are not. And I think it's lack of information on one hand, and on one hand, just thinking it is something more complicated than it actually is.
So surely there are also educational routes around that in terms of being able to target your market and specifically speak to your audience. That's very interesting because we have to talk about technologies now. We have lots of apps, just floating out there. What specific technologies are currently having the biggest impact on markets and strategies in Nigeria currently?
I think that would be AI. Because, AI has changed the game. It has made it easy for small businesses to have access to more information. But then the question is, are they really utilizing it? Because businesses who are in tune with what is happening can understand that I can just go to YouTube and, learn data, learn market segmentation, learn it's available, it's actually free. But when people hear data, they say, I think it's numbers, it gets scary. But if you have a restaurant and you don't know how many people have come into your business, you don't know whether they are male or female, you don't know what their favorite dish is, that means you're running your business blind. And that's just basically what data is. Data is supposed to tell you, data is supposed to inform you, data is supposed to speak to you and say, this is where you're leaving money on the table. And that's what we're actually trying to build at Blastly. We're trying to, create that opportunity to help businesses integrate their data and make it easy for them to know who their customers are and, help them communicate with their customers better.
Yeah, knowing your customers is certainly a very integral part of running a business to
Yes,
start
yes.
with. But, while we're talking about technologies, we also have mobile marketing, which I find really interesting. It's a really interesting area because it's also another buzzword, but it has a lot of effects. So firstly, let's explain what mobile marketing is to our potential users who don't even know how to navigate the space, and how are businesses in Nigeria leveraging its use to target their audiences more effectively.
Yeah, so mobile marketing is just basically having access to information about a business that you like on your phone. That could happen through an app, that could happen through an SMS. It's just basically having that access to have the information that this business that you like, they've launched something and you might want to take advantage of the 10% or the 15%, or whatever that is. So mobile marketing basically just gives the business the opportunity to communicate to their customers, at a cheaper rate as well. Because with SMS marketing, in as much as NCC clamped down on certain things, there are still ways around that. With SMS marketing, you can actually, communicate with your customers, let them know that, okay, you're still here. Your favorite dish that you took last week Friday is actually being prepared this Friday, and that kind of ignites a memory in them. Okay, I had fun at this place last week Friday. I might want to go back there again. So that is just a way of, making sure that you're communicating with your customers and making sure that they have the right information to make decisions about your business. I've been to certain restaurants and I forgot my direction to the place, and I'm like, oh God, if they could just reach out to say, oh, did you have a fantastic time, or just ask me a question, that would just make me to remember that, I had a fantastic time there and I want to have that time again. So that is where a lot of Nigerian businesses, that is where the disconnect is, because Nigerian businesses are not really pushing forward. There's a lot of gap they just think, running a business means I've opened this place and it's good to go. Whether people coming or not, you don't know who is coming in, you're not even tracking what is happening within your space. So yeah, that's what data should do. Data should inform. Data should help you understand how to communicate better with your customers, but more importantly, tell you who your customers are. Because up until when you launch that business, you think it's all a great idea. You think you might actually be serving people in this demography, and then you notice that some people are in another demography actually coming, and you're wondering what happened. That's your customers telling you who they really are, and that's data giving you feedback on who you should be focusing on.
That's very interesting. So you're alluding to the post-service engagement, which is very important. I want to know that you could acknowledge the fact that I was at your store, and you want to know if I was satisfied or not, right? Isn't it? Data analytics. It sounds like a technical jargon. But you alluded to it, so people hear these words and you feel a little terrified and say, hey, that's a little, over my head. But let's get a sense of its real function. You just talked about numbers. If we have to integrate this with mobile marketing and get a little more technical and look at AI, in what ways can we infuse data analytics into enhancing business operations?
That's what we're trying to build at Blastly, to make it simpler. But just a day-to-day operations of what it could be could just be as little as just collecting their phone numbers and their email addresses. That's just like a day-to-day, just sign up, get a 10% discount, and that would just tell you who they are. If go further, ask if it was male or female that came. That way you can segment in the future, because at the end of the month, if you do this activity every single day without fail, at the end of the month, you should have data to work with. You should see, oh, I have more men, or I have more women, or I have more children coming into my space. That it would give you that information that you need. Then you would also ask them what they liked most, and that is where a survey comes in. It could just be a simple email. It doesn't have to be so complicated. A simple email to your customers, just asking them, out of all our menus, which one have you tried? Which one do you love the most? That would give you feedback. And it's really, when you run your business based on feedback, you would always be working on improving the business, because you've understood what your customers are asking for and what they love the most about you.
Right, so communication is king in business. I guess you couldn't be more right about that. Alvena, we have unfortunately run out of time. I know we had a couple of other areas to talk about, but we surely have to bring you back. And many thanks for being here, and we look forward to more work from Blastly.
All right, thank you.